Oh, hey, sup, it's Ralph Bob.
Are you a demon hunter getting ready to prepare for Shadowlands and trying to
figure out what talents are best for leveling? Well, this is the video for you. So
subscribe for more and like and comment
on the next class and spec
that you would like me to do
on talents for leveling up. First, I'd like to shout out a comment from Boobins. It says, thanks a lot, bud. You helped me out a ton. They went out of their way to make this shit confusing. This is in reference to some BFA mechanics. Yes, I still feel like it's kind of confusing in Shadowlands. So we're gonna get some videos out to try and help ease the process of going into Shadowlands. All right, so let's get into the talents for Demon Hunter. Okay, so let's get into the first row of the talents. So first off, I'd like to go into just a few minor changes that they've added to Demon Hunter since the switch from Battle for Azeroth to Shadowlands. They added Immolation Aura to Havoc, so now I'm pretty sure Immolation Aura was only for Vengeance, for tanking. So now this is another way to generate Fury. Eye Beam has been added a lot of different things that they were Azerite traits in Battle for Azeroth. The first thing is when it's finished channeling, your haste is increased by 15%. That's big. That is the number one change to that. And also, they added, when you cast Metamorphosis, it resets Eye Beam again. So these were both Azerite traits, and that's basically a huge buff to Eye Beam. It's just a natural, now it's just a natural part of the kit for Demon Hunters instead of having to get the traits of Azerite, because it just kind of felt like that was baked into the class. Anyway, so we went over those changes. So now we have the talent choices. Now for me, when it comes to leveling up in Shadowlands, it's about survivability, speed, overall, like kind of, I would say just AoE damage in general, but it's not a big necessity. But if any of these involve cooldowns or inconsistent Fury generation, then I would kind of skip over them. So let's go over the first row. So Blind Fury is the Eye Beam, generates 40 Fury now and increased duration. This isn't a bad talent. I would say this is probably pretty good, probably for dungeons. Get in there, do Eye Beam, get a nice burst of Fury, blow your load. And then Metamorphosis, Eye Beam again. It's a good like starter combo going into like a boss fight. But for leveling, it seemed like kind of meh. It didn't flow very well for me. I didn't particularly use it that often. I didn't seem like I was using it that often. Like most of the stuff was dead before I did Eye Beam anyway. Demonic Appetite isn't bad. It's not super consistent, which like I said, I like consistent things. Chaos Strike has a chance to spawn a lesser soul fragment. Consuming any soul fragment grants 30 Fury. So more Fury generation, but it's kind of random. It doesn't happen all the time. So you might just be sitting there waiting for Fury. I don't like that. I like being able to just keep going. Boom, boom, boom. Fellblade is kind of my choice. And it's been my choice for the last couple years since Demon Hunters have been a thing. All right, so with Fellblade, you can engage with Throwglaive, Fellblade, and then start Eye Beaming, and then you get more. You do Immolation Aura and then start Demons Biting, and then you're already rolling. You're rocking and rolling. They're pretty much half dead at that point. You just keep going. Fellblade's a good consistent ability to keep your Fury generation up, whereas Demonic Appetite's kind of random and you have to depend on it. You already have to have Fury generation to use it, so it's like, or to get a chance to get it to spawn a soul fragment. So I prefer Fellblade. These other two aren't bad, but I think they're more situational. I think this would be a good one for like a big burst, huge Eye Beam off, and then reset with Metamorphosis and another huge Eye Beam, and you're just chopping with all the Fury that it generates. But once the Fury's gone, Eye Beam's on a 30-second cooldown, so that Fury's just gone for a while, so you're just sitting there. Anyway, so Fellblade would be my first choice for leveling. So in the second row, we have Insatiable Hunger. Demon's Bite deals 20% more damage and generates 5 to 10 additional Fury. More Fury, and it's consistent, so you're always able to just click Demon's Bite and get Fury, which is great. Burning Hatred, Immolation Aura generates an additional 60 Fury over 12 seconds. That's a lot of Fury, but also Immolation Aura is on a pretty much 30-second cooldown. So once it's over, you're just sitting there trying to, like, you're waiting for Fury. and it's kind of I don't like waiting there for a cooldown to generate fury. I want it to go. And Demon's Bite is always there. You always hit it. You're just going. Now, I played with Demon Blades a lot in BFA, and it was I got the feel for it a lot to where it just felt like I was always getting fury, like it always procced. It's not a bad one, but it's not as consistent as Insatiable Hunger. I wouldn't mind this one because it would just be another button that I don't have to press. But at the same time, it's not consistent fury generation, like I said before. It does seem to do pretty well. I don't ever seem to feel like it doesn't proc. There's very rare moments where it's like right now, it's just like, what do I do? You know, I'm just sitting here waiting for stuff to proc. And I don't really mind too much if it's for the last couple years, it's been doing all right. Like in BFA, I was always run Demon Blades, but Insatiable Hunger would probably be my choice for leveling, honestly, because it's more consistent and you have control over it. I like having control over the resource generation. Next, we have Trail of Ruin. Now, this was the choice in BFA, and it's not bad. The final slash of Blade Dance inflicts another additional 761 damage over 4 seconds. And it combines well with First Blood. These are good, but for some, I really like these talents, these other two talents. Glaive Tempest is an AoE spell that was in Legion. It was on the Legion artifact, and I think it might have been they switched it to a PvP talent or something, but it wasn't in the kit for BFA at all for PvEers. So this is a really good talent, but I think when it comes to leveling, this Unbound Chaos, activating Immolation Aura will cause your inner demon to slam into enemies and deal 3,550 damage. When this thing crits, when this thing hits, it does so much damage. I'm like, it blows my mind, actually. Every time I do it, like this does 2,530 damage over 3 seconds to 5 enemies, which is good AoE. This does way more. It does like 1,000 more, and it also hits all the enemies around it. So it's like, this is it's a good choice to just start your combo off with that and just hit, like I just hit for over 4,000, and it does crit. So like the amount of damage that you can do with Inner Demon is pretty good, and you just start off the fight with a huge chunk of damage. They're like, most of the enemies that you fight while leveling are going to be at half health by the time you engage them like that. Honestly, I'm having fun with it. I did do most of my leveling with Glaive Tempest, but I ended up just not using it as much. And Unbound Chaos is a passive. It's just going to be there no matter what, and you can just do it. You just dash into them and boom, boom, boom. Trail of Ruin, if you want an easy one to just not even have to think about, just Trail of Ruin First Blood, perfectly fine. Still works out for me, and it's still good AoE. I mean, it just doesn't seem like that much damage, you know, but you're going to be doing Blade of Chaos more often than any of these other abilities, so it's not a bad one. So if going into the level 35 talents, Soul Rending is the obvious one for me because it has Leech, and you get 25% more Leech while Metamorphosis is active. Perfect survivability, helps a lot. Desperate Instincts, it reduces the damage taken by Blur by another 10%. It's not that much, it's fine. Honestly, it's whatever. And then it triggers when you fall 35%. It's like, you don't want to fall below 35% anyway. You don't plan on doing that. This is a better thing to keep you from falling falling under 35%. And Nether Walk is a 3-minute cooldown. It just makes you run away. No, we want constant survivability. We don't want to depend on a 3-minute cooldown to run away from battle when we just want to win every battle that we do. We don't want to die, and we don't want to run away, because that's going to ruin the leveling. Like, you're going to lose so much time leveling. If you are a speed leveler or you want to get to the end game fast, you don't want Nether Walk. If you're just hanging out and doing quests normally, then just kind of play with it or whatever you want. But if you're trying to just boom, 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 get done, Soul Rending, and you don't want to die. Nobody wants to die. So I think Soul Rending is my pick for this. Okay, so level 40 talent. So this one, when Chaos Strike when Chaos Strike refunds Fury, it also reduces the I-beam, the cooldown of I-beam by 3 seconds. Not bad. Not bad. This is also one that's not as consistent. It's very random. So first of all, your Chaos Strike has to refund Fury, which is just a chance on hit when you use it. And it reduces the cooldown of I-beam. So now you can do this with Blind Fury, and you can do an I-beam build where you're just constantly I-beaming all the time. But remember that you have to have 30 Fury for I-beam. So you're gonna have to like save up your Fury and use it and keep using it. I mean, you can get a lot of I-beams out, and I-beam does a lot of damage. Trust that. So this isn't a bad build. I would probably just go with First Blood. Essence Break is okay. I think honestly, like in Mythic Plus, Demon Hunters are gonna have a humongous amount of AoE choices at their disposal. Like Essence Break is huge. Like slash all enemies in front of you for 700 damage, and increase the damage Chaos Strike and Blade Dance deal to them by 40 seconds for 8 seconds. So you're just doing so much AoE damage, just constantly. It's pretty ridiculous how much AoE damage we can choose to have. Mythic Plus is gonna be it's gonna be really fun for Demon Hunters. They're gonna have so many options for AoE. But for leveling, I wouldn't go Essence Break. I'd probably just do First Blood just to have it. I mean, Cycle of Hatred's fine. I think First Blood for me though. Reduce the Fury cost of Blade Dance by 20. Perfect. That's just a static, like reducing that. So you can always have that option. Even if you're pretty low on Fury and you do everything, like you're out of Chaos Strike.
Juice.
I used all my Chaos Strikes. I can still get the option to do Blade Fury is pretty high. Like Chaos Strike is 40. And then now my Blade Dance is 15. So it's a good one to do, to always have something to press. That's another thing that I like. I like always having something to press. In that same vein of having always something to press, Master of the Glaive is the choice for me to give 2 charges. And snares all enemies hit by 50%. The snare's fine, it's whatever. But Throw Glaive, having 2 charges is another thing, just to have more things to hit. Unleashed Power is more of a Mythic Plus thing, to have more stuns available in Mythic Plus, as well as Fell Eruption. Fell Eruption is fine. It does a minimum amount of damage. It doesn't even do that much damage. And it stuns them for 4 seconds. This is another thing for PvP or Mythic Plus. If you're trying to stun a specific mob from casting, then yeah, then you want that. But for leveling, this is the obvious choice. Now, for the final talent choice, it's between Demonic or Momentum. Fell Barrage is a 1-minute cooldown. It does a lot of damage. It's, once again, huge AoE damage. Like, we have so many AoE cooldowns, it's going to be fucking ridiculous. So we get into Mythic Plus. But I don't like having cooldowns while leveling. I just want to keep going and going. Even if I'm fighting like a big quest mob or something, they don't take that much damage to kill. I already have other cooldowns like Metamorphosis and stuff. Like, I don't need any more. So I don't think Fell Barrage is going to be useful in the overall just killing normal mobs. Momentum is fun, especially with Unbound Chaos. That's kind of what I'm just testing out right now. Unbound Chaos and Momentum. So you're gonna, what Momentum does is Fell Rush increases your damage done by 15% for 6 seconds, all damage. Vengeful Retreat's cooldown is reduced by 5 seconds, also gains 80 Fury over 10 seconds. So it's really cool for Fury generation if you're doing that. So if you're gonna run Unbound Chaos, which I might do while leveling, then I'd probably run Momentum, even though Demonic has better survivability because you're always turning into Metaform and doing plenty of Leech. So you want to Immolation. I get the Unbound Chaos. 8,000! It just crit for 8,000. Bruh. What the hell? Like, it just does Unbound Chaos does so much damage. I don't understand. They might tune it, I don't know. But it just feels like it's a lot of damage. So yeah, if you want to just go with the standard demonic build, you turn into Metamorphosis after I-Beam, perfectly fine. I like this one. I use this one a lot. It helps for survivability because now you have Leech because of the Soul Rending. If you're just going for straight damage, Momentum is actually pretty fun to do. Like if you're just going for Fel Rush, Unbound Chaos damage, perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. It's really fun to mess around with. I would encourage you guys to mess around with that. If you don't like having so many buttons to press, like Fellblade, Demon's Bite, and Chaos Strike, you can just go Demonic Appetite, and then now you don't have Fellblade, and you can Immolation Order to start off with, dash in, get your Unbound Fury, and just keep going from there. Super fun build. But yeah, I would stay away from Fel Barrage. This is kind of the setup. Like I went over everything. I hope you guys liked the video. Hopefully it helps you when you come for Demon Hunters, when you guys go level up in Shadowlands. And I will do if you please comment on what other classes you would like me to go over talent wise for leveling. My next one will probably be an enhancement shaman, unless somebody says something in the comments. Okay, so please go like the video, subscribe, and all that stuff. Check me out on Twitch, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Peace.